evidence, looking material, none of it was mine. Then I kept calling and finding them and found out it was what? I never heard anything back. You know, I'm an RN and I'm on disability. I cannot get those things back. You know, and I feel like I was just thrown away. And when we called them over here, there were several break-ins. The response was good, but you never heard anything else. You didn't hear anything from the mayor or anything. Then a window was broken down in Old Town when he was on the news. So I want to know, what are you all going to do for us?
Yeah.
Okay, also, let me get to the next thing, just in case. I live by myself, okay? My water bill is higher than someone that's got 3 or 4 people in the house, in their house. All I do is go to church. I don't go anywhere. So I'm not using water, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand. Now when you flush the commode, if you do number 2, the water's not even high enough to flush it. The water pressure's so low, okay? Then I have a concern about how to heal. It's so black and dark that when I leave church at night, we can't see. And that's all the way around until you get to Wooded Lane. I mean, so I wonder if there's anything that you all can do about any of these issues.
Why don't I get your address? It sounds like you got a pressure issue, and maybe you have a leak that's
I've had a plumber, excuse me. It started after you all put in the new meters. And I can appreciate the fact that maybe they have to catch up or whatever. But some years ago, when Ms. Mickens was mayor, it was an article in the paper saying that we were paying the same thing per cubic meter or whatever for water that Brown Williams had paid, and that she was going to get it straight. Is that still true? Are we paying what a factory would pay, you know, as far as the rate is concerned?
No, you're not. Because the size of the meter, you're not paying the same rate. So I'll get your address and I'll have someone.
Yeah, and let me address your first question. I want, as far as your the break-in, we'll get your address. And I'll get the chief to take a look into that. Okay, I know it happened some time ago.
It happened twice.
Twice.
In the daytime, I was here one Sunday morning, and I left home 20 minutes to 10, and got me 11:02. The officer was here because they knew where to find me at. The next time, I left home about 10 minutes to 3, going right behind the bowling alley to take this kid home. And when I got back home 10 after 4, my windows and door was broken. You know? So it's like, and then when you call the police because there's music and stuff going on next door, and they got a whole bunch of young men over there, because as one of the officers told me last year, the night out for crime, there is a lady over here that lets her grandson or son's kids, just friends, just hang in the yard. But you call them and they come with the siren on, then they get away.
Well, what we do from here on out, that's why the neighborhood watch is so important. I appreciate you calling, but don't stop calling. Just like the chief said in the beginning, continue to call. You have my number on the bottom of it. Call me as well. I had her back there. Hold on.
Good evening. We received a message today from the city of Petersburg that says there will be a blackout period starting Wednesday, April 1st through Monday, April 6th. To what does this refer?
The job.
That's on the website. As you prepare for the new NeoGov application on the website. That's because the website is blacked out the rest of the
Not the entire
Not the whole
website,
website,
just the job officer.
Okay. The message just says there will be a blackout period, so it doesn't really tell you.
Maybe next time we put out something, we'll put more details.
Thank you.
I understand. Ma'am.
Thank you. First of all, I want to attest to the water bill. It seems that the people in Ward 2 seems to have a much higher water bill than the people in Old Town. Our bills are over $100, most of us. In addition to that, she's right about the water pressure, because several of our neighbors have called down to ask. Okay, in addition to that, Mr. Hill, I would like to ask, did you survey the people of your ward prior to taking the vote to close the jail?
Yes.
And not entertaining Sheriff Crawford at all?
Ma'am.
I'm asking a question.
I understand. Let's get to your first question. Your first question, we're going to check on the pressure for our ward, and I guess the despairing of the prices,
Okay,
the despairing of the cost for the prices, and what have you, as far as if it's high over here and somebody in Ward 7 is paying more. I mean, when I spoke to you earlier, a couple of weeks ago, I've been looking into that, and I couldn't find any findings of it. But I'll get Mr. Hicks to take a look at it as well to see if prices are gouged on this on this end versus that.
I'd like to say something. I actually talked to the citizens, some of them down in Old Town, and they said their bills was like $60 to $80. And the folks over on my side of town are telling me theirs are 100, 135, 170, and one of the ladies at the end of the street, her bill was $600. And they had to come and check it. They did take something off, but you're not measuring for usage, because the young lady that came into the council meeting could read the meters, and she explained that they had charged her 4 cubic feet, 6,600 or whatever. It was a whole lot, so you can pull the minutes from the city and see how much overage. And I think she lived, so, okay,
I
that's
understand.
a, okay,
I understand
now
that.
the
Now,
second
I'll
question.
get Mr. Hicks on that. And to your second question, I'm going to say this. The jail issue is not on the agenda. But what I will say is, I got as much information, and I had talked to the sheriff several times, a few times on the phone. I got as much information that I had there. I didn't like the way it was done. I would agree with that, the way that it was, voted and went out, but it was done legally, and what have you. I didn't like the way it came back. That wasn't done according to Robert Rules of Order. Only the prevailing side could bring it back on the floor. Hold on, we're not going to do this here. This is it. You can address your issue at council, and I know you wanted my war, but it's not on my agenda. I'm not going to tie with this right here, because we've been going through this. We've been going through this for a while. I know we've been going through this for a while, and what have you. And I talked to several of Ward 2's constituents when I was giving out my flyers and got their take on it. So, and most, if not all, that I talked to, they agree with the decision of council. And I'm going to leave it at that for now. Now, anybody have any questions about the sheriff? You can talk to me offline out in the vestibule, and we'll talk then. But I'm not going to tap this right here with that, because we've been going through this for a while. Like I said, that council and the challenges of this city is multifaceted. It's not just one department or one, and we do several things. So, are there any other questions? I got it, because we over our time, so I'm gonna take 2 more questions, and then we're gonna stop. Sir, I'm sorry, ma'am, you can go ahead.
I live in an area where I have an alley behind my house,
Share your address, ma'am.
Fort Wright Street, 2247. And during the winter months when the snow was there and the roads were wet, they came in to clip the tree branches, and they made ruts in the alleyway. Now, when the summer comes, I'm gonna be responsible to cut that grass. I'm a woman, I cannot do that. So could you send somebody out to look at it and maybe repair that area?
Okay, that's, your address is 2247? Okay, Mr. Hicks, we'll get that to you. One last right here. Okay, I'll get you. Ma'am, sir?
Yes, the problem I have, I guess with somebody, right where I live, and I live next door where, the Councilman, Mr. Ross, I say next door to him. And right between, 2000 Bishop Street, right on the corner of Bishop Street and South Boulevard. There's a drainage comes through, I guess, anyway, it goes under the street, and it comes down between our property, so like, and it turns around on the back of my property, and goes through then back up on the South Boulevard. And that drainage, sometimes it dries up. I know I got a concrete bottom. I think the city might have did. I asked Mr. Ross about one time. He said he would look into it, but he didn't get to it because of capital. But anyway, it stops up on the back side when you make that turn. So the water backs up, and last year, when the granddaughter up there, and here comes up with a snake up on the top. So my she panicked. She don't even go to the backyard anymore. And I need to know whose problem is to fix that. Because it can't be Mr. Ross. It wasn't his. It wasn't mine. Because it came through under the street, under Bishop Street, goes down and cut through and go back over under South Boulevard. And the water comes through, and now when it backs up, the water backs up.
Okay, I I know exactly what you're talking about because one of my clients, he is not too far from you, and he concerned, he had to clean out his gutter because of some, so we're gonna, Mr. Hicks, he's gonna take care of that. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Several of the speakers tonight have mentioned keeping our properties up, and I beg to say that 100%, 99% of the people that are here tonight do that. But I think the city should do a better job on Morton Avenue and South Boulevard. It's an embarrassment to drive down there and see all the trash all along the sides of the road. And this is a city problem, not the owners of the houses. My other concern is with the city manager. Well, not a concern, but I have a question. It seems like all the money for Petersburg is being devoted to the Old Town area and not our ward. And I think we really need to be taken care of a little bit more because most of us are elderly, retired, and we seem like we're paying high property taxes. On the city downtown is being financed a little bit on our backs. We have personal real estate property taxes seem to be very, very high, and the assessments seem extremely high for what the houses are selling for in our area. Our area, the houses, unless an investor captures them for $40,000 or $50,000 or even less, and can turn around and make them brand new and sell them for over $100,000. Our properties are not of the same value because we can't afford to do that, and our properties are being assessed over $100,000. And I live on Buckland Street.
Okay. Firstly, one of my coming in with a plan is to find a way over a 10-year period to lower our personal property taxes. I haven't appealed to council yet, but it's a physical way in which we can do it, I think, and still maintain all our infrastructure. So, I'm one of those ones too, that my personal property taxes, I do the same thing that you all do, and what have you.
Not sold for that amount of money.
I understand.
Forever.
I understand. And secondly, as far as Old Town and things going down there, there's a lot of investors that come down there. I'm down there. I rent down there, and a lot of people. That's where all happiness is. And a lot of people like to go in there. They like to invest in it. They like the area. They like the antique look. But it's not city money. It's a lot of investors, private investors. So we can't help if somebody want to come in and invest in properties down there. The guy, the gentleman that owns the building that I rent from, he came down there during the first tornado when it came through that. He bought a property for a little nothing. Moved all the way from Washington State and just bought up everything, but on auctions and everything, because they didn't see the potential. But he saw the potential. He started fixing it up, and now he's selling property now. So that's a private owner's situation there. So those are private owners that are doing those things there in Old Town. Now that's the reason why I'm here, to bring more exposure to our area. Now I can't say I've been living in Ward 2 for what, 14 years. I can't remember us having a town hall meeting. The reason why I have all of these people here, because I can't remember us having one. So that's the reason why it's taking a little bit longer now. But and I'm pretty sure we have. I'm not talking against anybody or things like that. But I can't remember us having one. So that's the reason why I have all these people here, so that you all can meet the people who represent you all. Okay? So, and I know it's a lot of questions. I wanted to keep it to like 7:30. That this being the first one. We're going to have more in the future. I appreciate. I want to publicly thank Reverend Reeves and the Good Shepherd Baptist Church family with them opening up their house to us. I know a lot of times we don't open with prayer. We open with a moment of silence. You pray for your stuff and all that stuff. But we're in the house of God. Everybody knew what it was coming when they came here. So that's the reason why I opened up with the Lord's Prayer. So if anybody offended, you can pulled me inside, talked to me later about opening with the Lord's Prayer. I do want to recognize one person who just snuck in, and that's our Department of Social Services, Ms. Kim Willis-Miles. Could she stand? She came in late. She's with her husband. Thank you. And we'll have another one. First, we're going to have the business one. Then we're going to have another citizen one. I will try to do one a quarter at least. And then, if there are any germane issues that's hitting the city, then we'll try to do one. But you have to read the paper. You have to look at Channel 15, because you may not get a flyer in the box, because it's just me, really. You may not get a flyer in the box like you got this time. But I just really wanted to introduce myself to you all, so you all can get to know a little bit about me and what have you. We have refreshments. I want you to go through that right door when you leave out, so you can